Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Well, at the end of that audio track, that was about the right time to transition. All right, Tuesday. They had a small update today. I don't know if they actually posted anything about it. Other than this post about the new Memorial Day Battle Pass. Bonus Battle Pass. I don't know if they're counting that kind of like an Officer Flash Pass, but it's a paid-only thing. So first thing I do, I'm going to get logged in. Get logged in onto the STFC store and get my daily mission key. And it looks like there's a compensation chest. I saw in the Discord the compensation chest was sent out for the artifact, the automatic turn-in thing that they were having issues with. Still going to be benefiting off of that one a little bit. 3,200, I think is what I saw. I'm kind of curious now what the timing of that turned out with the artifact upgrade event that was running earlier. If somebody could have been watching that timing, they might have been able to make a good move on that. It doesn't seem like this becomes any less of a chore to do all this collecting, especially after the improvements that they made into the refinery. That was a pretty good pull there. That was at 228. Able to upgrade some of them officers pretty soon. Which I know the priority one ATAs could definitely use a little bit of a boost. Especially with only one priority one ATA slot open right now. Getting that second one open is going to be a huge accomplishment. I was kind of surprised that they didn't have anything tied into Syndicate that would have offered advanced players a little bit of a reprieve. Like a Syndicate 30 or 25 or something to add the second one in, or do a cooldown reduction. Not a cooldown, but a length reduction. Because there's like a prime or whatever that has the time reduced down to like 1 hour or something. So having like a syndicate event that, or a syndicate level that shaves off like 8 hours or 12 hours or something would be pretty cool. But month one, can't expect to have everything given to you. It still feels like it's a little bit of a waste to get a lot of these parts that I'm not using from anything. And some of the refinery options for turning them into don't kind of exist anymore. Since archiving the actual refinery for the specialty ship. Those Type 3 solos already feel like they've came around so quick. Gaining a little bit of an ability to stock that up more and more as my ship's getting leveled up. It's a little weird to run out of those deuterium canisters. Wow, rare Borg solos are completely out finally. We got Alliance tournament starting tomorrow. Alliance tournaments start tomorrow, so hopefully I can pull a task that involves running rare Borg armadas. I hate to run any of those at all and end up having an opportunity to benefit from it tomorrow. Because that never fails. By getting lucky enough to get enough epic, I'll be able to upgrade pick Hugh. Which again, I'll save that for tomorrow in case there's a spend option that I get for that. I'm gonna let the rest of those ride and hope for something better on its refresh. Okay, run through freebooters really quick. Check to see if there's an event for them. Got Borg probes. Nothing special there. Nothing there. This is just the research one. So we got Gorn. Boy, they're really making the... Really making them specific. Well, we get lucky with Neelix below deck because that benefits our battleship. Rathacon McCoy, I think, is on my P1 assignment. Has to be Gorn. Yes. Okay. It doesn't require ship level of anything specific, so we can go anywhere. And then augment exile engagement again. This is one of the easier ones. Not one of the heroic ones. Ship upgrade, what defines us SLB? So this is traits and officer XP. Mirror research, solo defense. carrying over from yesterday. Officer Depot carrying over from the previous week or so. Tech Tuesday, so this is the Q's trials. And then our regular faction reputation events. Get a bonus here of mining, research and upgrades, and then artifact things. So I'll knock down freebooters. And then transition over to Gorn. Like an attack. I think I'm going to be lucky with Q's trial, and I think I'll have enough to be able to finish that event today. If not, it'll be close. I know I didn't get any trial bells when I was doing the binary options. I don't know if I was doing when I was doing my building claims earlier, if there was the trial bell claim in there. I don't believe that there was. Yeah, perfect. Then we'll have enough. Man, the other night I had when I was doing Q's trials, I had like 3 in a row in the same system. It was pretty nice not to have the impulse range and warping times. Doesn't happen that way a lot, but it feels real special when it does. Speak of the devil. That should be pretty close to what we need. That's 2 more wins and then 12 extra hostiles. I'll definitely get the 12 hostiles trying to get the con event done. The Gorn hunting one. Ooh, got my Dr. Ta'ana shard. Recall ship, repair, and swap crews. No, not that one. Yeah, there's my Rathacon McCoy. I've got 2 days left on this assignment. Yeah, it probably won't be worth pulling for the extra officer. All right, so on bridge, we need SNW James Kirk and SNW Sam Kirk, along with Elia. She's here already. Reduces enemy shield mitigation. I don't know if those things are shield heavy or not. Yeah, that's fairly heavy. $496 to $814. The alternative is to have shield HP reduction. I feel like putting things straight into hull is probably better, especially with full synergy here. And then we needed Nurse Chapel and Neelix. So that means down here, Janeway's not doing anything. So let's find a good replacement for her. Yeah. That'll work. Then we get Apex spread against multiple things. Anytime you can screw with the isolytic statistics, why not? Anybody else here? Nobody else. I'm surprised. Usually this system gets pretty busy during events. Other people must have graduated to other systems, or else they're just in lower ones because it doesn't really matter. I haven't done Gorn for a while, so I'll take an opportunity to stock up on the isomatter. This is a good crew against the Gorn. Might not be a bad crew against the augment entities or whatever. The EE hostiles. There's 2 ships there. This is gonna end up taking a few kills the way that it looks. If I recall correctly, these things are not susceptible towards the cutting beam. They are not. I'm surprised they never really came out with a prime or anything that would add cutting beam effectiveness to it. Because they're not really a particularly strong. Not when you compare them to like the, what was it, the Apex Hunters or whatever that the Mantis was meant for. I haven't used that ship forever. I couldn't remember what the name of it was. I should remember to try to break it out for the arenas. I've been skipping a lot of PvP research and don't have a lot of PvP officers, and getting whatever advantage I can get out of that might be useful. That the first milestone? Oof. I may end up filling the cargo on the ship. Yeah, I definitely don't want to refer to this as a grueling grind or anything, but it does seem a little time heavy. It seems really rough when you've got 5 out of the 6 officers on deck. I'm not certain that that's scoring correctly. All these buckets that have Khan's picture on them. James Kirk, Sam Kirk, Talia. On bridge, on bridge, on bridge. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is correct. That just really, really seems low. Nine points at a time to get to 2,400 points. That's what, 230? $267. I was thinking it was 201/3, but it's 202/3. 267 hostels for one event is a little excessive. This 2-day event. No, it's only 1 day. Last time they had a grindy event like that, it ended up being a 2-day event, and a lot of people tried to do it in just one, and they didn't realize it was 2. Well, it's almost worth finishing that mission to get the extra 5 points. That's a 50% increase. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish this guy up. I wish that thing would be smart and not realize that it does not have to do everything into that one thing. So we'll get Wrath of Khan McCoy back and available. We will not send Wrath of Khan McCoy this time. I'm guessing I don't have anybody that's passionate or disciplined. Nobody's disciplined at the moment. Okay, so we'll recall this back. Throw on McCoy in place of one of the 2 Apex shreds. Hi, Moore. Don't have the passion or discipline traits either. Yeah, I've got the ones, the McCoy I've got unlocked, but I underestimated his value, I guess. I thought there was going to be one that was fine to send out on an away team assignment, but lo and behold, they wanted him used today. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have use. Just there's other people that can fill that same role normally. But yeah, trying to go at that nine points at a time was no bueno. Anytime they want me to hit 300 hostiles, I object significantly. Yeah, the points for hitting up would be useful, but I'm locked on warp range right now to only one level up at the moment. Well, I mean, not to say that I can't get there with a warp range officer. I think I'm literally a Cadet Scotty away from being able to get to the next system up. But that's definitely how they generically approach the G6 hostiles, as extra points for going up. I mean, even in the tournament model, they could, you know, give you lower points for hitting down or something even. Or yeah, just having a point based on hostile level even. You know, they could band them a little bit. You know, the wherever the bottom is up to like level 40 is like 1 point, and then 41 to 50s 2 points, and 50 to 60 is 3, and 60 to 70 is 4, or something like that. It's just another one that ends up being a spend push, trying to get people to max officers. Which, I mean, it's a business, and they have the right to attempt to make money. And I can't complain because I have a way to be able to complete this task, this mission. Took you a while too. Yeah, it's not bad, especially with the queuing. Like, if I was smart, I would just queue up my Kirshara up to my 7 hostiles, and I would be doing my Borg probes right now. I keep on telling myself that's what I want to do, but sometimes I just have trouble clicking on a system, especially in these kind of systems where the hostiles are so everywhere and numerous. It's hard to gauge the patterns on them really easily. You know, like the regular faction systems where they're only spawning like 10 or 12 hostiles, and I don't know if the systems are bigger or the hostiles move a little slower or something. A lot easier to catch those patterns and find an efficient way to do them, but these ones, it gets a little tough 3 or 4 out from your next one to get a really good pattern down. sometimes when I get into those situations where I queue up a full round, I'll be on my other screen and I'll see my impulse timer is set at like 30 seconds, and I'm like, wow, that's the exact width of the system. And then you get a couple of those back to back, and you realize you lost any kind of efficiency you had, other than doubling up on tasks, of course. It used to be time I'd spend, running armadas, but now with the armada speed ups, I don't tend to do that the same way anymore. It's kind of amazing to think back about all the shortcuts that are added into the game now. You haven't focused on Kirshara? I've got it at like level 3 or 4, whatever I needed to get it up to get the 7 in the queue. Galaxy map update. Oof. I mean, to be fair, they kind of update it like every month. But I know what you're saying. There's more space to be gained again. Or just generally reorganized. Because there's some times where you're like on the edge of Klingon space and it feels like you're almost over in the exchange space here. Yeah, there's been a couple of times where I go back to the panel here and I'm like, I thought I saw housing on here one day. And that must be where I've got that stuck in my head, is from their roadmap then. So I keep on thinking like I saw that they changed that or made an update to it. That's definitely something that would help. Because right now, I'll jump onto stfc.space and do a little bit of investigation there to see if there's housing in a system that I want to get into. But the bulk of the time, the dang website isn't even up. At least it seems like it every other time that I try to go there. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad when you're in a consistent area doing consistent things. Like, I've been attacking Romulans basically since I went into G6, and I know those systems pretty well. I've been kind of stagnant in a way in certain areas, and yeah, the areas that I go to frequently, I know them in and out like the back of my hand. But the The areas that I don't get to, like, I don't know those at all. Okay, this guy's just a dick. You saw me play somebody in arenas? Yeah, that was probably an embarrassment, I'm sure. My PvP game is weak. I don't remember it was when they... I was kind of caught up with it when they were doing Isolytic, and then as soon as they brought out Apex Barrier, I was like, "Oh, this is the way this is gonna be." I used to be really strong in PvP. One of the former alliances I was with was I don't want to call them a frequent instigator, but they don't back down from being pushed. And so any kind of aggression that was sent towards them at all was mirrored and amplified. And so there was frequent opportunities for PvP. But yeah, as soon as the Isolytic game kind of came up, and you know, that was kind of cool, you know, something new and sweet, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, by the way, Isolytic doesn't matter anymore because we've got this Apex Barrier, and then we got Apex Shred, and I kind of realized that there's not a lot of purpose in focusing on the Apex side of things if all they're going to do is mitigate it in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months even. And that caused me to fall behind, and it's been something that's very hard to recover from at this point. But I know PvE is the bulk of the game. You know, like, you're gonna feel better about playing the game. Well, I shouldn't say everybody's gonna feel that way. There's some people that just straight up don't do PvE and will only do PvP for the most part, but you know, like, most of the interactions with the game, the clicking that you can do in the game is based around PvE. And when we get new hostiles like these new augment ones, you know, the better suited you are towards attacking PvE targets, the better you're gonna feel about it. You know, the better situation you're gonna have. And PvP changes quicker than PvE does for sure too. You have to stay on top of PvP a lot more than PvE. And yes, monetization is heavily focused on PvP for sure. Which is why they don't have any, you know, strictly PvE servers. Everything's always PvP. Man, my queuing got fucked up bad. I don't know if they messed up with some of my hostels that I had in queue or what, but well, I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, and they kind of had their game broke up into like a PvP and PvE servers, and um, a little bit of option in the players approach to the game. So I just kind of got used to having that kind of choice. And for the most part in this game, you kind of get a choice by being able to shield your base. There's a couple exceptions with like Texas class hostels and just being out in the open world and people being able to attack you. But like everything else based on the the climate on your server is going to be the row or anything that your servers adopt, and whatever kind of enforcement actions they have in place to make that hold true. I know there was a question or an intent for people early on in the life of the game to try to get Scopely to give an option to have an enforced row on the server, and that's a really interesting concept. If like there's rules that could actually be put into place on the server. It'd take a lot of manual work for sure, because every server has their own kind of set rules. Whether they're formally written down anywhere or whether it's just really informal and just the way that the players interact with each other. How do I feel about where the game is going? I feel very positive about the way the game's going. They're delivering on a lot of the quality of life improvements that they've been suggesting and hinting at. The content has been pretty decently engaging. I'm not thrilled about these augment hostels right now. I think that their introduction's been a little sloppy, or the way that they've got them set up in their event buckets has been a little bit grind heavy. A lot of times you can kind of expect like the top end of a lot of like regular events is like 70 hostels, but I found like a lot of these ones are like well into the triple digits. Like this one today is like close to 200, which isn't bad. It's still a lot of just time commitment, and it's it's still a mobile game, and sometimes Scopely doesn't take that into account. You know, this is built on a platform that's designed to have, you know, like 10 or 15 minutes of interaction and then put down, which isn't how anybody's probably ever really played it for the most part ever since it's came out, but that's kind of the root of what a mobile game is. How about yourself? How do you feel about the current state of things? I don't know why these guys feel like they need to go in the exact same direction that I'm going in today. You know, that's something that I never really put much thought into is the communication. They've been using that in-game news a lot to really push messaging out to players, and that's something that people have been asking for a long time. And I know that they've said that they didn't have a mechanism for making the in-game news a more immediate announcement, and they must have remedied something on that because some of those notifications seem to come through in a very, very, very similar timeline to what the publication on Discord has been. And yes, free to play friendly's been something that's very, very good. They've been doing a very good job of making the paths known for new elements and getting those into players' hands very quickly. Like GS31, I mean, that was basically a day one engagement item that was available to players. I've done my fair share of, you know, day one ships, and there's usually so much imbalance in the way that those things are set up that the ships aren't even reasonably usable for the like 2 or 3 weeks anyways. Sometimes a month, sometimes it's been 3 months. I mean, look at the Mantis, like that thing had problems for 4 months, 5 months. Like people were getting them free to play for free before they even had that like legitimately fixed. I think there was even an overlap. Like free to play had that for like a month or two before Mantis was fixed. I don't remember what the specific problem was anymore, but Oh, it was in the lower systems. There was spawning issues where the hostiles were getting stuck. That's what it was. So people couldn't get the apex predators. Is that what those things were called? No, just the Actian Apex. Well, I mean, I don't remember what system it started off as a problem in, but I was at a high enough level that I was able to start in the 36 systems, and I know the people that were down in the 33 to 35 were having significant issues. I got lucky on that one. I will definitely admit that. Or our server might not have had this problem as bad as other servers too. It seemed like some servers were really struggling with that. Remember, Rev Deuce and Ultimate DJs both had very strong and passionate videos and messages towards Scopely about trying to get that fixed. You know, especially since the players that paid to have that were not having the ability to utilize that ship, basically. And they've approached issues much differently since then. I think that they did have a learning experience there. And there's definitely a 2-track system that's been going on here lately too. Where there's things like this Memorial Day event that they announced that are, you know, 100% oriented towards players that pay. And I'm fine with that. You know, as long as the events themselves don't only apply to people that are going to pay. As long as the events are still going to be available for people that are just free to play, they can throw out as many monetization paths as they want for as much as I care. A lot of people really like the extra battle pass. Yeah. I can imagine. I mean, there's a lot of resources that they offer in them. I have not purchased an elite unlock in a year now. And I don't see a lot of value in it. Personally, you know, like the Syndicate XP is kind of the most beneficial part, but None of it's gonna be like make it or break it on unlocking an officer. You know, the prime particles are gonna be, or the premium mirror dust is something that's useful, but for the most part, I don't feel like I'm gaining a lot off of $20 spent there. I mean, there's definitely a lot. It's just not stuff that's missing in my gameplay that I feel is necessary for me. And I had a lot of dissatisfaction with the game last year, but with the satisfaction that I have right now with the way that things are moving, I kind of almost feel like, okay, now I can inject that $20 into this game because I feel like I'm getting $20 more worth of content out of this game today than I was 6 months ago. But I'm also getting an economic elevation from all of the extra refinery things that they're giving me. So I don't have that need for the resources that they're making available through the battle pass either. I mean, I can put it to use by all means, but I don't have that sense of desperation that I had 4 years ago. I shouldn't say desperation, but I don't have that same, there's not the same level of squeeze. I unlocked a lot of officers this week, and I don't know how all of these ones fit into everything that I have yet. So I unlocked Torah and Toli. I unlocked her a little bit before then. I'm just not used to them yet, so I don't have their exact abilities memorized. Oh, and then Rathcon McCoy. I'll leave them at level 1 so that they're easy to find at the bottom of the list here. On Sehar, I unlocked as well. I've almost got Carol unlocked. Which she's the loot increase. So there's not too much of a change yet. I'm missing some key officers in here. This is definitely when they did the Galaxy Quest arc, I just kind of faded out of the game for a month or two there. I was in the Mirror Universe that I came across my first ISS Enterprise, and it was way back in one of the systems. I was way back in the deep mirror universe back over here, and like the third ship I hit, instant death. And I think back then it wasn't set up as a survey ship yet, so you couldn't tell that it was anything unique other than by the name. And that just irritated me, and I said, nope, I am not playing this arc. Yeah, it's definitely a lot nicer now, and 100% of the game play that I'm doing is with the NSEA protector now, so I don't really have to worry about coming across one of those by accident for the most part. Especially if I've got the Omega ability turned on. I didn't see what ships this new guy covers. Okay, so he does explorers and she does battleships. I was doing better on Hull already than I was expecting, and I was wondering if that was because of explorers. And there's been a couple of times I've got caught clicking on D7s here too. Especially if I'm in like the system for the uncommons or the commons. I actually killed one. I was extremely impressed. It was in the level 40 system, so I didn't get a heck of a lot for it, but I mean, that was still only like a 10% chance or whatever. That was also the first time I saw one of the survey ones. I don't remember even what they call them. And I attacked that and died, and that's a 30% chance of instant death. And there was another player that had just came in, die 200. That should be easy to memorize. There was another player that had just came into the system right after me, and I insta-warped back into it, and it was already gone, and I was like, that guy got it. Which I don't know if those ones have like stay weakened or if they go back to full strength either. I know I didn't do a very significant amount of damage to it. I think there was probably like 5% hold that was gone. It's like I must have managed to get one shot off or something. But yeah, sometimes when I see these players just sitting around in these systems, I imagine that they're waiting for the survey one to spawn. Which I don't know if it's worth it. It's like 5.5 times the chance or something. Well, it's not necessarily a matter of patience because those things usually spawn on a timer. So if you get the timing down on it, you can be in another system doing other things and know when to look back. I've done that with other hostels in the game before, or like scouts or something like that. Back when scouts were actually kind of hard to come by. But I think just getting these two Apex Shred officers unlocked this month has made a very significant impact on my ability to attack these hostels. I think the first day that I had came up here with pretty much the rest of my crews the same, I was doing like 8 to 12, you know, depending a little bit on if I was getting more explorers or not. Fleet Commander helps too. Yeah. I haven't really looked at his abilities yet because I don't know when I'm going to get him unlocked. I try not to get too far into some of the stuff that I can't touch yet. My rep grind. I have the rep I need for my 66 ship in the Klingon faction. I think, pretty sure. Which is the only one that I'm really focused on. Yeah. And then my Federation isn't too far behind. I'm not focusing on Federation, I'm just letting Federation come up with it. I don't know if I'm going to get a Titan, though, because I am the Daradex and the Egta, Negvar, and the Cube. And I don't think the next thing I need is another battleship at the moment. Although that has made the research focus very, very, very easy. That is a lot of battleships. It makes the events with the requirement of using a specific ship type a little bit more difficult. Hey, Scooby. How's it going tonight? Aw, thanks. I'm glad it's going good for you tonight. But yeah, when it comes down to the my Explorer and my Interceptor, the 56th level ships are the only ones that I have for them right now. And doing those events is tedious. I got my Sanctus maxed out, so I can do like up to 62 and 63 hostiles pretty easy, so it's not super bad, but it's been pretty easy to keep up with the faction grind otherwise, though. I'm getting pretty close. I've only got a few buildings left to be able to hit 66. I got to finish off the storage here, and then vault, and then storage, vault, refinery, and then off to 66 and whatever I got to do to get my shipyard. R&D, Academy, Shuttle Base. Shuttle Bay is the other one that's gonna bite me a little bit. I am glad that they gave us this quick upgrade button. It makes it a lot easier to plan. A lot easier to plan. Box Club has been really, really handy in figuring some of this stuff out, but just being able to do everything in one button now is just amazing. I was kind of afraid that it was going to make you consume speed ups along with the other upgrade materials. But luckily it hasn't. It made doing the spend event over the weekend really, really, really nice. I was able to pop a couple exos and, you know, 3 levels of a building without having to burn any speed ups is amazing in Sigma stuff. That's an undervalued improvement too. That's kind of going unsung in a way. It's a very, very particular niche, and it's not. I don't imagine that it affects anybody in G3, G4, G5 in the same manner. But man, somebody up in G6, that's huge to not have to spend Sigma speedups. I mean, that building was going from 62 to 65. It's only 7 days of upgrades, but after the helps that I got off of it, it was down to like 5.5 or 6 days. So by the time that the next weekend's spend event rolls around, I've got that building ready to claim, and I'm ready to hit the spend on the next one. Which I know that they kind of were giving a warning about the upgrades going from G5 into G6 too. I didn't have any buildings that I was working on at the time that were in that category, but it's still making me a little bit nervous to try to bridge that gap. So I'm going to make sure that anything that is in that territory, I'm going to take to 60 and then do one upgrade on it to get it to 61. Make sure that it goes through successfully. Oh, that zigged. I kind of felt like this weekend's last event here too, there's a little bit less participation in it than I've seen for a while, because I'm ranked a little bit higher than I normally would. I don't know if it was specifically due to the bulk upgrade option, or if it was just people were tapped out from the prior weekend, maybe. I know we're kind of coming up on springtime, and people are kind of in vacation mode, and we got a big weekend coming up. this coming weekend. So and a lot of people are not necessarily going to be spending the same amount of time in game. I don't know if that's reflected in event participation the same way or not, though. I know in the past it's been, you know, like a Christmas weekend or something like that might not always have the same level of participation in some of those events, so you can sneak in a pretty low spend, or like when they had the recruit events where you know do your recruit token spends. Some of those you'd be able to get by super cheap. we also had our a war breakout on our server over a territory capture that occurred on a I don't remember if it was like on a Thanksgiving or a Mother's Day or something like that. But it was like, it was one of those days where it's like a day that you're supposed to spend with your family, and an alliance had gone and got a couple of other alliances to help them take over a territory from another team, and it did not go over well. It was strategic, and it wasn't even done with like that level of maliciousness either. It was just you know, like, hey, I want to make a run for this one. When's the next day you guys are available? Are we really out of charming officers? We are. But like, no matter what you do in a game like this, you're always gonna ruffle feathers if you make any moves. Territory's always been one of those areas that's been more touchy than others. Like, there's alliances that'll put focus on you if you do any kind of raiding in their systems, or if you do any OPL hunting or anything like that. We had a team that would actually declare war on your alliance if you OPL hunted inside of their system, especially if it was one that if you were a territory owner and you had the same resources inside of your territory. Which I kind of understand their statement of it, because there's an inherent speed increase with the ability to mine your own stuff inside of territory, so there's not as much of a tax on you of doing the legitimate work yourself. But the declaration of war was always a tough one. And then it was another thing was like, if you hunted Isogen 1, you know, everybody has access to it outside of territories, so you know, no team doesn't have access to Isogen 1. Which they made them imply that, you know, hunting Isogen 2 or 3 in their system was fine. Unless you were one of the teams that started hunting Isogen 2 or 3 in their system and then it wasn't fine anymore. But when it came to territories, I kind of always adopted the, my house, my rules policy that, they have every right to enforce their system where they planted their flag in the way that they wanted. But I was also a proponent of reciprocity, so if any of their team meandered a little too far past their borders, they were met with a little more heat than normal too. Okay, I think that enhanced enemy, evolving enemy, I think that one's done now. Yes, thank goodness. It's a fine event. It's nothing special, but man, it can be a bit of a grind. Especially when there's other ones that make it hit a couple hundred hostiles. Okay, Rathacon officer events. Nothing to do there. Fleet Commander Khan. That is the unlock and whatever SMS thing on PvP events. So whenever that next one happens there. Khan's Challengers, we just completed that one. Priority 1 is the research. I'm getting close to being able to do the next level of my research. Evolving enemies is completed for tonight. Ship upgrades, I can see what I have available there. And start doing my officer XP spend that I've been saving on. I was kind of hoping that there would be an event popping that would coordinate with that one a little bit. And do some mirror upgrades. I might be able to do the premium hull on that one tonight. And do some solo waves. The ARC events, I think all we've really got is mission keys left here for the most part. Mission keys. Battle Pass overflow. Independent archives, I imagine, is just the 2 events. No updates there. March of Progress ahead of the curve, that just comes naturally. Forbidden tech upgrades. Might have to check that one in the morning to see if that's worth spending anything on. There's plenty of spots left to get a little bit of something there. Maybe I'll see if I got one that I can do something quick and cheap on. This artifact. That's nothing special. Billing and research. That's a little bit better. We'll see if that ties in with the star research in any way. Or mirror research, not star research. Okay, so I'm not going to be doing anything in here until I get my next invading enemies. I can do my hull. I'm really out of speed ups. All right, so that was a 250% improvement. Isolatic defense will be nice. That'll actually help with the new augment hostiles. My next focus here is my hull health there. Well, I feel like we just had an event here a couple days ago. Wait. Okay, so there's nothing else that I can upgrade there. And none of this stuff matters. Not my primary focus, at least. Let's set an exocomp for research. And I don't know if the Titan is still one I can do anything on. Trigger is where I was just at. I'm trying to focus on the last couple of ones that are just max fortified. Because right now the Type 3 Borg Type 3 solos are the ones that I'm doing most of my boosting on. And nothing big to be gained on one level there, so I'm not going to worry about that one. March of Progress got some progress in. The 5 marker there, sometimes I don't understand why they always keep that up. Because I feel that instinct to click there immediately. I don't know if it's because I did a refresh yesterday or what was the case with that. Chip upgrade, that's what the other one was. I was like, there's one other event that I wanted to check out. So I think my Eviscerator, I should be ready to do some kind of upgrade on. My Revenant probably too. This one, Warp Range is probably... Ooh, Warp Range is definitely the best one here. Ooh, that's a big upgrade. 150 Warp Range. Should also do gears on this thing. We'll worry about that when we get an opportunity to do something for double credit or just grind it out. My Protector, I should have something for here. 140, so I can do those two. I can do 2 of the 3s. I don't know if Warp Range is too much here. That's only 25. It's not very often that I get a full cargo base, so shield's going to be my first focus here. The warp range that I have, it doesn't really matter because I don't get into anything that I can't handle, but... And then this one, ship ability is mainly on loot and power. So we'll focus on weapons. Unless that's a significant juice jump, but it's not. That railgun is the one that would be nice to do. I'll do this railgun because that is the most expensive one that I can do. I don't know if the Vindicator is counted in this too or not, but might as well do this one. Shield. Shield's gonna be way more important than cargo space on this ship. So I'm gonna probably try to wait till tomorrow night. That's 345. I might not get that much off of one refinery pull. No, 270. So I'll save that for tomorrow if I need to get a little extra points in the event to get a spot on it. And then Titan, I think I'm getting close. Yeah, I have almost enough to be able to do an upgrade here. I do need to do my Titan fortify for the day. I don't think 19,000 was enough to move the needle all the way, but that was a significant chunk on being able to do a couple of these. So that's within grasp for tomorrow, maybe now. So that leaves the ability to do a wave. Now I got to reassess my officers a little bit because I need to get Rathacon McCoy on this ship. Or on a ship, at least. Maybe that might be better served on the Negvar here. So McCoy gives armor, shield deflection, and dodge. Which is better than Picard's or Riker's ability. But Riker's also my crit chance here. Maybe that's not that bad of a crew. That's crit and isolytic and just happens to have a benefit of some speed boost. So she increases apex barrier. She increases apex barrier against battleships. I don't attack battleships with this ship. I attack interceptors. So I should put her on my ship that I do battleships with. I feel like Mbengo might be better off here. Maybe a Sam Kirk. I'll try that combo out. Lorca doesn't serve much purpose there if I've got B'Elanna. And I don't know if I have Darvinic. No. GG. Where's she at? She's not this low. Then that'll boost the isolytic again. I need to save that one because that's definitely a better layout than I had before. Ah, crap, I did that wrong. What did I put below deck on E? I don't have anybody down there yet. Okay. So that could be a Phlox or McCoy. Let's just put McCoy. And then we'll see how Mbenga does there. These 60s have been problematic for me, to say the least. And that wasn't even the crew that I ran yesterday. I was able to get further than normal. I was using my normal hostile crew yesterday. Where's Pike? That gives me the best ability to lay down some serious damage. And the little bit of apex barrier gain that I get now might be able to help those others stay in the fight a little bit longer. If I can get all these ships into wave 4, that's going to be huge. I don't have these things quite memorized yet. Every time I think that I get it memorized, I'm a round off. I know that everything comes in from the north at this next wave. Oh, I saw that thing hiccup there and sit, and I thought I was going to stall out. So this is where my ships start dying. I made it yesterday, but apparently today I don't have the same... I didn't eat the big bowl of Wheaties this morning, apparently. And I don't imagine this is my battle log anymore. No. More than 300 hostiles today. Alright, let's go claim the faction store chests. I'm guessing I'm getting pretty close to the point where I'm gonna need to do some scout messages. I feel like it's been a little while. That's one of those things that's kind of nice to do during incursions when the loot boost token comes into play. Every time I come into the augment tree here, I always expect it to be like empty. I guess that's kind of a strong hint that they had dropped when the archive happened with the Botany Bay. They didn't really get rid of this area. Okay, none of them officers are anything special. Getting close to next levels on several of these ones. Next month is going to be pretty interesting. So the only thing at my reputation level that I'm still liking is the Mark of Khan. And that actually has a pretty good boost between level 1 and level 2. I'm gonna sit on this for a little bit because I don't know if there's an event coming up again for spending the Wrath credits. But I don't need that in immediate need, so spending it today would be a bit of a waste almost. Especially if tomorrow there's a Rathspend event. Or if it happens to show up in Alliance tournaments. I mean, I don't know if they were planning any revamp for it, but if they did, I want to make sure that I'm in and stocked for whatever they have to present. Our alliance has been doing very, very well in the tournaments. We've been very coordinated, and everybody's been doing a very good job working together to make sure that we do a good position and we don't end up in a relegation area and keep our league up. Well, that's another ship I should probably look at is the NX-01. I don't know if there was any upgrades there that would be useful. And I got a lot of things that I can spend credits on there. I am very curious if when you get these artifacts maxed out, if they'll disappear off of this faction store, if they'll stay there. I hope that they're designed to fall off. Because there's been other stores in the past where there was a significant amount of excess material spent where they did not need to be just because they did not have the things in a way that was set up to not cause you to spend it when you didn't need to. Yeah, no, that stuff's really relevant. I haven't seen a Krenum Armada event pop up in a hot minute. I keep on claiming these directives, hoping that they're going to pop up one day, and then just doing the bare minimum to be able to get the refines out of it, to be able to do the reputation and ship parts. But it's never anything that comes, it seems like. Yeah, I'll have to do some of the statics on this next one. I know. I need to do statics, and I need to be able to do some charged. So half and half. Ooh, make sure to set a peace shield before somebody tries to crack me. All right, take one last look through the events and see if there's anything left to do there. All right, ship upgrade. We made a pretty good dent into that one. Officer XP spend. Is that even worth? That's not really even worth spending anything on. Your upgrades. That was a good jump on that one. Solar wave defense. We were at 29, maybe. I don't expect to place on that one then. All right, so I think we're gonna do a raid into Major Sambo. She is streaming Star Trek Fleet Command right now as well. Thanks for popping in tonight. Hope everyone has a fantastic evening. Stick around for the raid, and I hope everyone has an opportunity to join next time.